Yeah, just taking in the set. Taking in the set.
Oh, you're doing the same thing as me?
Yep.
Yeah, just
doing the same thing as
just
T.
nice. It's the fact that
Sorry, she was like
easy.
holding the platypus around the neck. Sorry, my bad. I won't get distracted ever again.
Hugging himself.
Yeah. No.
I feel like we can be a little bit distracted because Gaming Gladiators dipping into reserve time a lot for their bans. I guess they're just trying to figure out if there's any sort of, not cheese per se, but any other pocket picks from Monaspa. Like, you don't get to just come in and ban out meta against a team like this. Like, the way that they draft is very, very quirky.
Yeah, and for Monaspa, I still feel that you might need to respect this Batrider a little bit. Of course, there's still Quop and Zeus in the pool. Gladiators haven't banned out either, so I think Monaspa as well, if they respect these heroes, then they won't even need to ban out the bat because they know they have the final pick.
I swear it's Quinn that loves playing the sniper on Cayman.
The last time they played it, they put it in carry. They had Ace on offlane, Nature's Prophet, and a mid Batrider. So, but there is flexibility for sure.
Yeah, you're right.
Normally, I prefer Quinn on being heroes that kill early to then catapult himself into the game. When he's killing the jungle, I don't think he gets the same, you know, level ups and banning out Leshrac as well. Okay.
Do you reckon they're just gonna all in on Quinn in this middle phase ban? Like,
for sure, yeah. I honestly like that because you've already locked in your sniper. Ace's hero pool is so wide that banning him out doesn't feel too great.
Feels impossible.
And yeah, Quinn, you kind of know the archetype of what he needs now, which is this playmaking 0 to 20 minute style hero that can always do things. Once his job's over and he's now scaling a little bit slower, Sniper's like, what up? I've got my Hurricane Pipe, BKB, I'm the
Can
lad.
you really do that for Quinn though? Like, even if you take out the ban, there's still the Puck, there's the Ember.
There's a lot. I'm actually worried about mids for Gaiman, honestly. Like, as in Monaspa's mid potential, because you picked 2 heroes with your opening that have no lockdown, and your sniper hates heroes that can jump on top of him, typically mobility heroes, right? So you have a potential for a mid like Storm Spirit, Ember Spirit, all this stuff. The Morphling that you guys were, I mean, it's banned, right? But like these types of heroes that just thrive when there's no lockdown, a little bit spooky.
They're giving Wish last pick in this draft, I feel. Like, if Gladiators don't pick up their mid laner here, they're like, boys, hold off. We're going to have the final pick, then we'll decide what we're picking. And it's on Gladiators now to decide how they want to operate. If they want to go for some Ember route, then it's going to be Ember plus maybe Tofu on another aggressive style hero to keep finding them. Honestly, I wouldn't mind, I think, Disruptor for Gladiators. I know that sometimes they put Tofu on this Undying. So you pick Disruptor plus some like Ember, super kind of high-paced style game. You can have early damage, Maelstrom on Ember, so that could be a decent option. But I need to see Gladiators draft in a way that they can initiate fights and in a way that Monaspa can't just feel like they can AFK near objectives and say, run into our Hawks, run into our Fissure and Echo turnaround, because it will be pretty difficult.
I think there's a way that Monaspa can last pick their mid on this round though, because when you have second pick, sometimes that's like the stronger place to pick your like win condition, because otherwise too many heroes get banned out towards the end. Like I think if they see a strong hero that's going to win them the game, they should just go for it.
Yep, if they see it. Like again, if Gladiators pick that weird, like they pick Ember, let's Huskar for example, they're not going to do that in this scenario, but along those lines, then 100% they can pick it here. Just depends if Gladiators are revealing the mid straight away.
Yeah. They're spending a lot of time. Like, they've only done 2 picks, and they're already down to, what, 20? Is it going to go all the way down to 20?
Tied. Okay, there's the Disruptor at least. Okay. So yeah, in regards to Gladiators, we're mentioning how Monaspa are being even more aggressive in the previous game. They lacked, I guess, the rebuttal to Monaspa's aggression. They're now picking that in spades, right? It's Undying with Tombstone, Sniper Shrapnel, Tidehunter naturally being tanky. They are going to be able to survive through the onslaught. Question is now, where's the damage from Gladiators to actually, when you survive, where's the kills?
It's going to be all in Quinn.
Yeah, I'm thinking it right now. It's a lot of pressure on Quinn.
And then eventually the Sniper.
The Sniper is like, if you can get like a niche situation from earlier where the mid is so good and heavily favored towards Sniper that you can just put him there, then nice. Because I think otherwise your carry needs to be way too aggressive, and they're probably going to ban out some like, I don't know, some Ursa or something. I don't know, something that can just go fight maybe.
OD carry, by the way.
OD, is it they play carry?
Yeah, Monaspa play OD carry,
Really?
and potentially an indicator of wanting to play at carry would be the Tide normally being, obviously Tide going offlane, Tofu normally playing the Undying, so it's like, even if it's Disruptor or Undying with Tide, this OD should free farm. You go Hammer, you then progress the map a little bit. Beast is now doing his thing in his side lane, so it honestly could be really good in this scenario, but I'm honestly I'm really excited to see how they set up the mid lanes here, because Quinn needs to pick up a hero that does early game damage.
Yep.
and at least a little bit of like wave pushing, whilst Monaspa then get the last pick to either put OD into mid, but most likely put safe lane and have some wish. Ha! 24 pick wish here.
If you're against Tide, is it better to just go the... It would be better to just go the Q, right, Max, instead of Astral? I'm not sure what's better, but I feel like the...
You only need like 2 points on
You
in
only
prison.
need 2 now?
Yeah, because like you go hammer and then you go 2 points in prison. Your
Right.
hammer's like shorter duration, so you don't
Okay.
really care.
Yeah, just because between the like Meteor Hammer and Tide being able to just like shrug it off, it doesn't seem that good. I feel like he could just not even be able to lane with a max Q.
Okay, now I would love to know in this interview if
Okay.
Gladiators are to win, did you ban Husker to force an Ember ban because you wanted something else? Because it's like you ban Husker, it's like it could be kind of cool for Wish to pick it up, but Monaspa instantly like, oh, hold on. If they're banning like the hardest counter to a hero, let's
We
get
can't
rid of
let them have Ember.
And I think realistically, Monaspa need to just ban out Puck Ember no matter what in this scenario. I think these are the 2 heroes that describe the archetype that we've been leaning on. Other heroes,
What about like a Conquer? I'm just trying to think of what like Quinn has played before and has looked good on.
yeah, I mean, Kunklers is
No.
okay. There you go, Tusk.
Forget about that one.
This is already a difficult Tusk game because you going in, you're kind of by yourself the entire game. There's no other kind of follow-up other than Tide down the line. So in prison, cookie saves, raw, fissures. There's a lot of ways to disjoint a Tusk initiation. So what's going to be the mid matchup? Is it going to be the carry OD that we expect? And some Wish hero.
Yeah, I really like OD on mid against like melee heroes that he can abuse, but definitely if Nande's the guy that always plays a hero, then they should just keep that there. I guess they could just go like a Tiny if they wanted. It's like simple and farm's fine against Tusk, and if you can start a fight on like Sniper and make him uncomfortable, I feel like all your damage is just not existent anymore.
They could run it back and go for a Pugner. I mean, that could be extremely aggressive, but I'm thinking just like the Monaspa mindset. It's you got some decrypt against early game Tusk that removes his damage. Tusk can't rotate, so you take that tower. Then you got OD with a hammer in one lane, Beast in another lane, Pugner in the mid lane. It's like, no matter where Gladiators defend, Tide can only go to one lane. So I wouldn't be surprised if Monaspa did go a little bit left field with the mid pick. That doesn't give them additional jump for the Sniper.
I would not like a Pugner. I can see
I
where
wasn't
you're
a
coming
fan of it. I'm just
okay,
Monaspering it.
I'm just saying, like, right now, you have no heroes that, like, jump on top of Sniper. Like, your Shaker is a support. He's not going to get Blink for a while. Right now, no one pressures Sniper in fights. You need, like, a Blink on your Beastmaster to be able to go, and then you need someone that can go with the Beastmaster in that fight as well. Like, OD's not going to be doing it.
Love Wish talking right now. You already know from our listenings, he's been like so many times like, calm down, guys. He's like, no, don't give me that suggestion.
That's awful. That's awful. I don't want to play that.
Yeah, someone's like, do you want to play Primal Beast and maybe jump? This guy's like, no, I don't want this. I want my hero.
Primal got banned in first phase anyways.
Yeah, oh, I did, didn't it? Yeah,
Huge
Force
respect
Desire.
on
Yeah.
Monaspa.
The question is, I mean, they have, again, it's...
Pick Viper! Wait, is it banned? Pick Viper, let's go!
It is not banned.
I still want Tiny.
All right.
It's just a normal hero. I'm sorry.
Yep.
Yeah.
I respect that.
Yeah.
Oh god, what the hell is this? Again, another interview question now is, Wish, did you want to play Tiny, or did you get gaslit by your team to have to play Tiny?
Yeah.
Everyone just like comes in like full circle and he's like, Tiny.
Yeah, exactly.
Tiny.
I mean, they literally
Play
did that.
Tiny.
After they picked it, I think Nande just gave him a hug like, oh, you're my tiny brother. Aw.
Rock.
All right, well, you guys, where are we going for this game number 3 then? Because Monaspa, they pick out the OD, and it's going in safe lane. It's something that isn't very common. We haven't really seen it yet. Is that enough? Is that going to be hitting like a truck and the Tide is going to suffer?
I'm actually quite keen for Monaspa's lineup. I like... If I see a vision where like OD's astraling Tide so they can't use Ravage and anything and they just like blow up a support instantly with Tiny and then they just have so many tools to deal with like Sniper after that between like the Roar and stuff. So I'm actually pretty keen. I'm pretty keen. I like it.
All right.
I think
Monaspa fan.
Monaspa should be able to emulate the second game with this type of lineup.
As in the tempo?
The tempo that they have, I think Gladiators don't really have enough early damage to really mitigate that. They can be annoying, but I don't think they're going to ever really threaten too much with the kill. So yeah, I think Monaspa should, in theory, be okay. Of course, Sniper is a old school counter to OD. Like when you go past like half hour, you don't care, shrapnel range and stuff. So yeah.
It worries me when you're on the same page, you two.
I only have one thing, is that I think if Gaimin play around Tombstone on cliffs, like I don't see how Monaspa can take those fights well at all. So like if they choose to take bad fights this game, they can just easily lose, get wiped, and just die.
Okay, so maybe a little bit of a tougher execution for Gaming Gladiators, but we're excited to see the tempo coming out from Monaspa here in game number 3 between the two of them. It's going to be Snare and Kezu.
Thank you very much, y'all. And game number 3, Monaspa versus Game and Gladiators. It has gone the distance. It has gone the entire way. And, you know, they were talking about some of the execution from Game and Gladiators. It's not that easy to execute this in the lineup from Monaspa, but it has all the stuns, has all the tempo, plays extremely fast. Will they be able to replicate what they did in game number 2, despite not having an out-and-out tower hitter as they did in the Morphling?
They can. I do think it's a little harder. I think this is a very good sniper game. Yeah, you have the OD into the tie, but OD hates sniper. He does the same thing as you do with like a lot of damage, but he does it from way higher range. I don't think the Ratio's hero pick has been countered or answered very well, but Monaspa, they have like a lot of this early game aggression with the Tiny, with the Beast. They need to get that going, and then they could run over this game.
Well, they could run over this game, but they need to try and find a way to make it happen. The sniper pick, when we looked at it, it's like, yeah, it's not the easiest hero to play into, but Monaspa have already shown that they can deal with adversity. Game 1 went almost 60 minutes, just shy. Well, it did go over 60 minutes, they just didn't get their neutral items. Game 2, not necessarily that long, but Monaspa, here they are again in game number 3. And Game and Gladiators, they're already in a position here, Kezu, where in the DPC, they've lost a series already. They don't want to get themselves into a situation where you lose another, because Western Europe is very, very cutthroat. Legitimately, 2 losses. Starts with you put your major chances into jeopardy.
No, for sure. They're probably feeling, you know, a little bit of pressure. Of course, they did win the major, but there hasn't been much time in between, you know, to like try out some new things, and now suddenly you're the favorites of everything. Maybe that, you know, puts a little bit of pressure and some nerves on you. So yeah, I mean, Monaspa definitely can do it. I feel like a lot of them have been chatting it up a lot in their games, especially Nande. And this is not the first time he's playing carry OD. It's like the 3rd time I see it from him. He absolutely blew open one game I saw before, and then the other one was a little more. What the hell is that taunt? What? Yeah, I lost my point. That taunt.
The taunt, like, it taunted you as well.
Oh, it did. Astro.
See, just gonna grab the rune. Thank you very much for the bounties. Young 2-2 trade. It's a very fun taunt. Just rolling some dung around. So talk to us about this. What is it that makes this OD lane in the safe lane look so good? Like, and what's the rationale behind putting it here rather than putting it mid?
So first of all, the reason they picked it, there's like 2 main big reasons. First of all, it just destroys Tidehunter. Tidehunter wants to like stand his ground, but you have pure damage later with the orbs. You're also a ranger in the lane. And second of all, OD loves to have attack speed in his team. Earlier in the days, like years ago, you had Ogre Magi's pumping out Bloodlust on you. But in this game, you have Beastmaster, so you abuse that a lot as well. So those are like the good things, but you're playing into the sniper, which is something you don't enjoy at all.
Yep. Playing into sniper, never an enjoyable and fun time. It just outranges you.
Ratio
falling very low. Speaking of the sniper, he might actually be first blooded here, and indeed he will be. Desire continuing the magic that we saw at the end of game number 2 here. Skylark does end up going down in the opposite direction, but he'll happily take the free trip home. Come back with full HP.
That's a very big deal up top. Duracio must have underestimated the axes. Then Desire came from the side, had a super nice angle on his Fissure into some body blocks. Because, yeah, Gaming Gladiators, this lane, you are supposed to run over Monaspa with absolute free farm on Duracio.
To be fair, things have not necessarily always gone according to lane on this side of the map in particular. Like Skylark Desire versus Celery and Duracio has been interesting to say the least today. And many peculiar things have happened. And it seems like that's going to continue to do so. And the last thing we have to talk about this mid lane, I think Skylark should be fine there. I don't think he dies.
It looks like mid lane is very even in terms of CS. Top lane you have a little bit of punching as Ace.
Might be in danger here. The drag back from Tofu with the glimpse, making sure that Nande cannot continue to pepper in the damage. Fortunately for them at the time, the Astral was already used. But we're starting to see what you were talking about, right? The pressure that this OD can apply towards the Tidehunter. Ace is not going to have the easiest time in the world down here.
Yeah, I mean, at least OD level 1 and 2 isn't the strongest because you don't have all these skill points to really facilitate yourself being high mana. As we're watching top lane being played out in the mid-river. That's just what Dota has become nowadays.
Might actually find this kill onto Celery here if they can find a decent block, but now Skylark much more concerned with just making sure he gets all his CS, denies as many creeps as possible. And it's starting to feel good. Bottom lane, Spartan.
Glimpsed F.
Gonna get glimpsed.
There is one thing about the OD sniper matchup that perhaps is different nowadays than it used to be a couple years ago, is the fact that maybe you just don't play Sniper's game by playing right-click. Maybe you go this Axe build and like you put the Tide under, you put the Sniper under in the Astro, and you don't really play on right-clicks, but rather the mana and your ult. Something I could see. At least he has that queued up, and I could see that work out.
So this OD looks like he's going to be going for the Hand of Midas in this game. Sniper hasn't made the full choice after the power treads as to what his farming item is going to be. This mid lane, Tiny versus Tusk. There was a period of time in last tour of the GPC as well as at the beginning of the patch where this was every game's mid. Got real boring real fast.
High-fiving him. I mean, this lane, it's like you have two beefy boys that are going to use their spell, stay on like nearly full HP all the time, and just get some last hits. So it's going to be more about, can a support rotate because they are dropping down in HP levels, or is there an active rune that is going to allow them to break open the game? Because either way, whichever mid can rotate to their offlane and then kill the enemy carry and perhaps help open up the tower, that would be a huge difference maker in this game.
So in the last game, that Wish was the one that made moves first. Remains to be seen if that's going to be the case in game number 3 as well. We've seen Nande just farming it up down bottom underneath the tier 1. And Quinn actually might make an aggressive move onto Wish here. Caught him inside the Ice Shards, looking for the solo kill. Wish, can he get back to safety? He can. Has a Fairy Fire, the protection of the tier 1 tower. And Quinn is certainly not going to overextend. He saw what can happen in game number 2 if he does overextend, so going to play this one. He's going to play it to the limit, but as safe as humanly possible.
That was a really big deal. You're pushing back the enemy mid at minute 4 on your own, and then it's also exactly at the time where Water Rune spawns, so by Quinn just bodying in mid, he forces Wish to go back to base. That's a huge deal. Still full chasing down Spartan here.
Should be able to find that kill. Glimpse will be online in about 4 seconds. Has a Mango. Might not actually find this kill. Not going to be able to get past the tier 2 tower.
He's trying really hard to get the vision, but...
Is he going to get it? Is he going to get it? Top lane as well. They're trying to bring down Skylark. Spartan TPing out. Tofu. Oh, I missed him. A little bit unfortunate there.
Well, he still keeps him out of the lane for quite a long time, since he's actually forcing him to, TP back to base. So now he has to walk out. And honestly, Ace is doing very well down bottom. Like, if you look at the lanes, I feel like Quinn is overperforming mid. Skylark is struggling a lot in this top lane.
Yeah. You say that, but he was also struggling quite a lot in game number 2 as well. And Desire has come back to top. They really want to help him, but Skylark will find himself dying because a tombstone's been dropped in front of his face. Is there any way they destroy it in time? Yes, they do. He's on 50 HP, but he's still alive somehow.
Okay, if you're Skylark, you want to either just you die or you run to base. I don't like him sitting here with like this 100 HP the last 2 minutes because you can never really pressure. So yeah, he is not off to a good start at all.
Mid lane, of course, Quinn has been off to an amazing start. Hasn't decided exactly where he wants to go just yet on the map. But the moment an opportunity arises, he might wait for the Ravage to be online for the Tide Hunter before he starts to go bottom.
Yeah, also a lot of... You can see the importance of this active rune. So we have a snowball.
They're bringing forward. They're bringing in Tofu as well on the Disruptor. So Wish going to find himself in a precarious situation. Does have access to the Avalanche. Will they get him out of here with the Fire Snap Quickie? They bring him into a nice place, but unfortunately there is a Glimpse here. Desire, if he was a little bit tankier on the Tiny, a couple more one charges, they might have been able to get him out of here. Regrettably, that is not the case. As Game & Gladiators, not only do they force Wish back to the base, this time they do it in a body bag through this mid lane.
All of these rotations are very, very big for Gaben because OD alone isn't really doing that much to the Tide right now. He would need the snap to be in his lane, but they're all forced to move around. Now, Tiny being slowed down also means it's harder for him to go and help Skylark, which he's gonna need this help. He's lower net worth than the Undying. I don't see this Beastmaster speeding up this game in any shape or form in the next 1-2 minutes without help.
Now bottom, speaking of help, Ace has gotten help from Quinn as he shows up to this bottom lane to ensure that Nande does get brought down. No salvation available from the Fire Snap Quickie. And Quinn really making his influence on this map known. Great time through the mid lane. Now making life easier for the Tide Hunter. And Monaspa don't seem to have any answers right now. They're also about to lose Skylark in the top lane. Tombstone got dropped down. Dyraicho right-clicking him with the Shrapnel being online too. And Game & Gladiators, man. I think they took their last game personally, Kazu, because they are just putting the screws onto Monaspa right now.
Oh, they did, and they should. They don't want to be dropping games here and, you know, lose games, especially where they're ahead in the early games. We have a lot of damage down bottom. Ace. It's going to drop.
Had to happen eventually. if it's your first death, 7.5 minutes in on Tidehunter, and you've been alone for so long, I think you're like, it's okay. Life is perfectly nice.
Yeah, I would say with the start he had, perhaps he shouldn't. But if you're getting out of this lane like this, yeah, you shouldn't be too upset.
I mean, especially if we compare and contrast, he's 1,000 net worth ahead of his counterpart on the enemy team. And mid lane, we might actually end up with another death onto this Tiny here, as Wish getting assaulted yet again by this Game and Gladiators heroes. Fortunately for him, Desire is positioned in the appropriate place this time. And they just keep GG away from sieging onto the tower. The one thing that is a bit of a problem for this GG lineup is, their tower pushing is atrocious unless Sniper is hitting it. So
yeah,
that does mean they're going to maintain quite a lot of map presence on the side of Monaspa up until the Sniper does begin to make bigger moves.
Absolutely. They once again made a nice move around the mid area. You force back the Tiny. Sure, you don't kill him. You lower his HP level. Quinn gets the rune, and now they're smoking to bottom. OD hates this. He's such a immobile hero. Nande doing a nice job at reading this move, and he's just going to try to wait patiently. Let's see if Quinn can sniff him out.
Quinn is doing his best. He finds him.
Sniff, sniff.
Will he be able to get out of here is the question. Went in for the Astral Imprisonment. Is assistance going to be coming in from elsewhere? No TPs flying in. There's actually going to be a drop down of the Sanity's Eclipse, but there's also a drop in of the Ravage. Wish TP'd into the tree line so he doesn't get glimpsed all the way back middle, but it's not really going to help him out. Won't be able to get quick revenge down bottom, but while this is happening, Skylark comboing up with Desire, they're able to bring down Deraicho, knowing that he's going to be not able to get help from the two heroes who are making a rotation bottom.
Wish.
Does Wish die here as well?
They have Glimpse as well.
Yeah, they do. He's dead.
Yeah.
Oh,
they have Ice Shards and Glimpse. He can't really run.
No, Spartan, don't do it. Don't do it, Spartan. Don't do it, Spartan. Don't do it. Okay, here comes Nande. He's going to get himself Glimpse back. Spartan shows up, finds the Fire Snap hook. He actually gets the kill onto Quinn and throws in Morty's kisses onto Ace as well. Will he be able to kill him? And indeed he does. All right, never mind. Do it more, Spartan. Do it more.
Right, easy for him. TP's in, gets a kill, gets level 6. What do you know, gets another kill. But this top left that Deraicho received earlier, that's a huge deal. I thought Gaiman would like take over this bot area a little bit, but instead it's Deraicho who dies top, and now their top tower dropped to 30% HP with the abysmal start that Skylark had.
I must say, this has been really incredible to watch from Monaspa. Their understanding of how to counteract these map movements from GG. And it's almost immediately, as soon as they see a rotation, they're like, all right, we know that it's safe to make a move top, apply some more pressure there. They've looked very, very clean. And also they've been doing a good job on not getting caught out by the Tofu Disruptor and being glimpsed into awkward parts of the map. For the most part, they TP in out of range first. Remember to do it, everybody. Do not let the Disruptor just force you to get glimpsed back all the way to the fountain.
Just don't show yourself. Just never TP, lol.
Yeah, remember what HY said, stay in the trees.
I do like once again, you have Gaiman that are smoking down, but Nadia just continues to impress. He's not even having any of this bottom lane. Like, he doesn't want to be here now. Also, they have the Dominator on Skylark, so they can look to take over this top lane more aggressively. I also like that Spartan is here, you know, to like give some follow-up damage, give another follow-up body, just to like give some vision and help your Beastmaster get back in this area.
They will be able to actually get on top of Deraicho. Deraicho's in danger yet again. Echo Slam gets committed. I think they've got him. Soul Rip will be there to try and heal him up right now. Oh, they just run out of damage. Got you baited towards the very end there. And Deraicho able to stay alive. Pops the Mask of Madness. Here comes Skylark though. The Primal Roar goes in onto this Disruptor. But Disruptor doesn't die in time, so Tofu drops the Static Storm. And that will mean that Skylark ends up being the bonus as well. It feels like we keep seeing this one where one hero dies, 3 die with them. Another 3-for-1 special for GG.
This is a very bad position for Monaspa to be in, especially when you play against like this beefy boy that Tide is. When you lose your safe lane tower, if they ever want to run at this top tower again with Beast, Ace can just kind of look to TP there, and you can see the damage numbers coming up from Deraicho. And as we've talked about before, maybe you don't want to play in the lane, but you want to continue to hold your jungle, stays in a good position, knows that he can man up, and just claps them all.
Yeah. Shout out to Celery as well for not being shy about dropping down their Tombstone, ensuring that they had the follow-up damage. You see down bottom, Morty's Kisses get committed onto Ace. Well, oh, he actually dropped the Ravage. Sanity's Eclipse, probably unnecessary and probably an unnecessary Ravage, so they trade 1-for-1, I guess, that's fine.
Okay, little Froach concern on the Ravage there, but perhaps he probably feels like, okay, I'm not really going to use it much anyway in the next 2 minutes. You know, I'm just going to be a big boy, body some tower, farm some creeps, and, you know, Ravage, who cares?
Yeah. Gotta test if it works.
Yeah, who cares about the 2.5 minute old, right?
The 2.5 biggest team fight out on our entire team. Meh. It's just chilled.
Whatevs, bro.
Skylark, good read of when to move back. Had he stayed literally 3 seconds longer, he would be dead right now. He might still be dead regardless. Desire, though, his presence will bail him out of trouble. And Wish really wants an inroad, really wants some way to get forward, but still about 600 gold away from picking up his Blink Dagger. And unlike when you play Zeus, where your rotations just feel easier to make, it's a degree of execution here, but they're hiding inside the Roshan pit. Oh, what a trap that they spring onto Quinn. Did not see it coming, and looks like he should end up falling as a result. They drop the Static Stone to try and protect him, but it's not going to be enough from Tofu. Monaspa, they just keep finding these small little angles and these cute little plays, and somehow it keeps paying off for them.
That was a really, really nice, like the way they set it up with the smoke into the cookie. And Ace is in a bit of trouble bottom. Gonna get
he's definitely
poked again.
They don't have Morty's kisses though, and they don't have the sanity, so I think he lives. He's gonna be fine. Top lane, Skylark might not be so lucky though. He gets glimpsed back into the kinetic field with the right clicks from Deracho, able to bring him down. And they're still brawling. We just had the kill happen on Tusk in this area, and the fight's not over yet.
The thing is, Deracho playing the sniper, this hero is the king of like these small little high grounds, right? There's one staircase from the river to go up, then another one towards the jungle, and they're never really breaking it. Deracho is just sitting on his, 1,000 range, clapping people away, and it shows in the net worth. This guy is popping off right now.
He is, but Nande is hot on his heels with this Midas OD. Keeping up with the net worth. It's a constant theme throughout this series. And also, we almost have access to the Blink Dagger for Wish. I think the entire game changes quite markedly after that. Prior to this Blink Dagger, it's felt kind of difficult, kind of scuffed for them to get these initiations. They've had to resort to these very cute plays, but how many games have we seen, Kezu, where as soon as the Blink from Tiny comes, you're just getting continually tossed back, and the tempo and momentum just never ends for that team.
I mean, it just changes everything. They really need it, because both of the heroes, right, they need their Blink Daggers. So when Tiny gets his, he can make space and try to make it easier for Desire to then ultimately end up getting his, because he's still like 800 gold away. So once Tiny has Dagger, they can smoke up with the Snapfire ult, maybe look for a kill. But I mean, the net worth is really, they're bleeding net worth a lot. This is 5k already at 15.
It's a very dangerous lead that they have given up, rather. The deficit is quite large, but here we go. Wish has Blink Dagger, and the Spartan has the smoke and as well as access to the Morty's kisses. So if there's ever a time to try and make something happen, it would be around now. They need to try and make sure they have the appropriate numbers, though. They're leaving Desire alone top, though.
Yeah, he's just gonna get, you know, bumped out of the lane for a bit. But I do like this game, this timing from Gaiman, rather. You have Hood on Ace with a mech, his pipe is flying out. If you go on this tide and you toss him back, I feel like you're the ones dying and not the tide. And they're syncing this up with the siege creep. They also have a medallion on Celery to make him even more tanky. So I don't actually think you can defend this tower.
Full pipe mech. You were talking earlier about how the Side Hunter can go body to protect your towers. The opposite is also true. He can just be the frontliner to help you push them down even faster.
Have a glimpse.
And they glimpse back to Tiny, who made a very aggressive jump forward here from Wish.
Yo, bros, abort.
Wishful jump in its own way. That's... yeah. Well, I'm glad he did that, because it just demonstrates your point about how you just can't be jumping onto the Tide Hunter right now.
Yep, thanks Wish, making me look somewhat clever. I like it. Doesn't happen too often, but, you know, I'll take it. And now free Roche or what?
Definitely free. They can't do anything about this. If they had Blink Dagger, maybe you try, but... Also, one thing that we do not have in this game, the Beastmaster Hawk not positioned around the Roshan pit in the same way as it was game 2. So they can't... Like, initiating this feels like suicide, when you know they still have Ravage.
Yeah, this is hard. So at least for Monaspa, they need to wait. You need Beast to get his Helm of the Overlord, a couple more levels in the Aura. You need Nande. He's gonna have his Axe, but I feel like the points we touched on earlier with Sniper having an untouched game, I don't see this changing soon. They also have a Solar Crest on Celery, love this itemization. Drums on Tofu as well. Like, this Sniper is gonna be popped off with all the auras he could even ask for.
Getting past a lot of these beefcakes, and it's not like the supporting cost around him is very easy to kill. You have to get past an Undying, a Tide Hunter, a Tusk, before you even think about approaching the Sniper. Speaking of Sniper, you can actually start to lead the charge in the top lane against Nande and the crew. We'll see if they stick around for this. They have smoked on the side of GG. They want to come top, but yet again, Nande, the game sense pretty good. Gets out of dodge. They draw the movement. And that's going to leave Quinn all alone down bottom in a very awkward situation. Skylark scouts him out. There's going to be the chain disabled. Do they have what it takes to get this kill? He doesn't want to commit the primal roll. You see reinforcements are coming. What do you make of that, Kiz? I think if they drawed him and then dropped a kiss or two, I think he probably dies there.
Yeah, I think you kind of need to commit on that play. I don't know if they saw literally zero vision on the map, so they were like, oh, maybe they're baiting him, you know, because of the info they had, as Desire getting clapped mid by Deracho, who's gonna pike in. And got him. Brock the headshot. Easy clap for him.
I feel like that's fine if it had happened that you killed Quinn down bottom. Then it's chilled. You don't mind losing yourself there.
I mean, I guess they didn't want to put themselves into the risk just to take out the Aegis, since they did put it on Quinn, which I kind of like, because I feel like if you think about it, it is so hard for Monaspa to get on top of the sniper. He doesn't need Aegis. And look at Ace. He's just bodying behind the tier 2 at 18 minutes, and he's forcing them to run away on his own. That already shows you, yeah, like what's going on in this game.
They're about to hit an incredibly hot timing because they just got the BKB on Quinn, and they are about to get the full Guardian Greaves on the Tide Hunter as well. And of course the sniper not too far away from picking up, I think he's going for the MKB. We've actually had it as a delivery on route. We'll see what he ended up buying.
He has Demon Edge on his hero already. This is crazy. Like, he's gonna deal so much damage with all the attack speed that his team is helping him to like really pump out. So yeah, this sniper, they've got a sniper problem. I feel like I'm repeating myself a little too much.
I mean, it's a big problem.
It is.
It's a huge issue here. They don't have the anti-sniper repellent. They don't have like some Spectre or some Storm Spirit. Getting on top of him sort of requires everybody else to be doing well enough that you can just kill people really fast. But Nande is not in that position just yet. He still needs so many items.
Maybe there's something where you play, you hope that Desire gets to his shard and you start playing your fights on very high range. That's not something that's very good when you play against Sniper, because Sniper is the king of long fights with high range and dragged out. But at this point, I don't think you can do anything. You need to wait for the Shaker shard and maybe a blink and Aether Lens on Nande, where he just keeps pumping out these Astrals, and maybe eventually you get some, I don't know, 4-man Echo into Hammer.
Well, what's not going to help is losing heroes, and Skylark. Oh, did they not actually see him?
Nope. Oh! Perfect tree line fog abuse by him. So it's a pretty good getaway.
They'll also just use the Boar Abuse to put some pressure onto the tower. Bottom lane though, Deracho is just going to solo kill Tiny. Wow.
Brigand's Blade. Love this neutral item. I don't.
Might as well call it the Naga Blade.
He just killed a 2k HP hero on his own by using Mask of Madness and take aim and right-clicking him.
He doesn't even have a crit. He just did it like with raw headshots. Kind of crazy.
Okay, so 11k lead. I'm trying to really reach deep into my copium tank of how Monaspa can fight, and I'm kind of running out of copium.
They need BKB. They need BKBs. They need 4 staffs.
So they need a lot of gold.
They need a lot of gold. Yeah, all the gold on earth. They really do have this problem. Top lane, Nande. His problem might be an express trip back to the fountain. At least he gets off the Midas. My man. And he buys the Blink Dagger before dying.
Yep, he knew he was dead. Makes the best out of it. In the meantime, I mean, maybe Monaspa can take back the bottom jungle or something, but at this point, this game is going to heavily rely on Gaimin to overplay. But that's something that's not going to happen by nature. You have a sniper who legit can go AFK after clicking a hero or a tower. So how are you going to overplay?
Well, the sniper might actually find himself dead here as he gets Primal Road. Well, Costa's curse, kids. You remember, we're in the game right now. We're not on the panel. We've got to watch our words. And Sniper just walks raw up the hill. Doesn't have his full backup crew behind him, and he ends up losing his life here. We'll see.
When they run together and he clicks something, he'll be fine. When he just decides to psycho in the enemy jungle, as the fight isn't over yet. Celery, hello.
There's going to be an avalanche toss coming in from Wish, but Wish is also caught in a rock and a hard place. His ace is right on top of him. No access to the Ravage, but still very, very difficult to deal with. Here comes Nande at long last, and here come some of these deep Astrals. They find themselves with a double kill for Desire. Unable to catch up to Ace, so not even going to bother popping off the Echo Slam. But that's 3 heroes that just end up going down. So yet again, we see that Monaspa somehow find an impossible angle. They force Quinn into a BKB TP out.
That is huge. 3 kills, you force a BKB, and you get to take back like a lot of the map because, I mean, these heroes are still dead for quite a while. You have beats who can cut some waves. Gaimin, my friends, the Ratio. Don't do any more of those, because you do one more move like that and suddenly the game is gonna get closer to being even.
This Tiny well on the way towards picking up the BKB right now. And they're coming up the hill with Quinn and Ace, and they will not be able to get Skylark out of this situation. Desire just is like, alright, cheers, buddy. You do you, enjoy life. We're just gonna get the hell out of here. Looks like Game and Gladiators are insistent at this point to just make sure that they can control all the map space and just shrink the space for Monaspa to play. But Monaspa might not let them. Look at the smoke, Kizu. They're actually going to try to get the full wraparound.
I don't mind the smoke like going through the lane. Like if you go through the jungle, you're probably just going to break, which obviously they would. And the Ratio probably feels safe, but by you going through the lane, you might just be evading everything. So he's probably
Actually did. Yeah.
3, 2,
1, and he is a goner. Now the question is, can they get out of dodge? Already see Spartan starting the TP efforts.
Oh, Wish has no TP.
Wish does not have a TP available for another 30 seconds. Desire should be able to get out of here, so Wish going to be forced to just eat through the trees. But Game and Gladiators, they believe that these heroes do have the TP, so they're not going to go searching. Man, that was such a smart play.
That was very nice. That's beautiful smoke. Okay. 8k lead, you got the Ratio kill twice. He's still in a very good position when it comes to the game itself. But this is a lot of momentum for Monaspa. And in the meantime, Nande is scaling. Now he basically has a Aetherlens and like, what, a couple hundred gold. He can split his Arcane Boots. Yeah. Back to chillin'.
He's going to keep chilling, keep farming. Picked up the 15 talent on the additional Astral Damage, or the cost range rather. They smoke up on themselves right now on the side of GG. They're like, alright, y'all want to play high tempo? Fine. We can do the same. We have Blink, BKB. Quinn's about to finish off his Desolator in about 1,000 gold. They would love to find something, but Monaspa are not giving them the opportunity here. Yet again, we see that their idea of how to read these map movements from GG, very, very good on the Monaspa side.
Yeah, they're not really, right, like faulting to any of these smokes at all. So for now, they're doing okay. They got back into this game at least a little more. And now next Roche, 2.5 minutes, another very long respawn. And if you're gaming, they should feel like that if they move together and if they protect the Ratio, like if they stand in all the angles or have like a good anchoring in terms of the fight, that nothing bad should really be able to happen to them.
It's also quite fortunate for them in some way that they didn't rush BKBs on the side of Monaspa. So even if they do get on top of Dyraicho, by the time that happens, he'll have a BKB of his own. He can protect himself. For now though, GG, they're trying to control this mid area, wait for the next Roshan respawn. It is a bit difficult for Monaspa to fight into the Roshan pit, so ideally they need to try and stop them before they get there, right?
It's really, yeah, it's hard. I also love this gem pickup by Tofu. It's going to be able to like just get these stupid hogs out of the way as they're looking for a play, which is glimmered. But yeah, I think it's better you don't go in there. We've seen what happens when Wish jumps into these heroes, right? It's just super hard to then get out. There's a tombstone, there's some ravages, glimpses. So once you're in, you're in that fight, bro.
You are committed.
Yeah.
And now the side of Monaspa just happy to de-push it through this mid lane. GG. We've seen them do this across all 3 games today when they feel confident, just invading the triangle, forcing Monaspa into an uncomfortable spot.
Yeah. It's because they know, right, with the gem that they're taking the vision away. Mid, Skylark.
Skylark didn't die. No, Quinn went the opposite direction. Didn't feel confident in fully committing for this one. At the same time, though, they might be deciding to commit onto Wish. And Wish does not have access to a BKB. Gets Astraled right now. But there's limits to what your friends can do for you. As he ends up being brought down. Does have buyback if needed. But fortunately, the Roshan respawn happens pretty much at the same time as he comes back to life.
Yeah, they'll have another round of spells before, or like, yeah, I mean, he'll basically be up again by the time Roche comes up. So they should have another fight in them if they decide to contest Roche, which I just feel like it is really, really hard for them to take a straight-up fight. They need to, perhaps they have the right idea, they need to go around. Like, they need to do something fancy.
They are indeed going around. They've smoked up as 3, but Game and Gladiators seem to be prepared for this move, given that it's already just happened to them. But they might be able to get onto Dyraicho. He's out in the open. They get him with the primal roll, and there the Morty's kisses. But where's the follow-up damage? Finally it comes out. They do kill him, but at what cost? As Desire drops the Echo Slam. There's a BKB on Quinn, which allows him to bring down Nande. A 1-for-1 so far, carry for carry, and make that 2-for-2 as they add Ace to the kill list. Skylock, will he be able to get himself out of trouble? Oh, beautiful dump in from this tiny Wish, able to eviscerate the Tofu Disruptor. And there's a buyback coming in from Spartan. Wants to try and keep this fight going. Desire blinks in, gets the stun onto Quinn. And will they have the Fire Snap Cookie? They do indeed. The Chain Disable is there. Is the damage available as well? Yes, it is. Quinn's about to go down. And they are just getting through this fight somehow, some way from Monaspa. Flips back onto Spartan. Tofu wants to make sure that his buyback is not in vain, but he's getting chased away by Wish. In the meantime, Spartan, he gets taken away. It's a dieback from him. Desire ends up buying back as well. It's a dieback on Tofu. It's now 1v1, Celery versus Wish. And Celery knows that this is not a fight that he can win. Needs to get the hell out of dodge. And amazingly, despite being 10k gold behind, somehow, someway, Monaspa still force a good fight on their terms.
Damn, this is crazy. They go around. Celery ended up being the real carry towards the end of the fight. They're dealing, what, 4,400 damage. But these fights are very big for Wish. Like, he basically has his BKB completed now by him being able to split the Echo Saber. And there's some hesitations coming out from Gaming Gladiators in these fights. I feel like Sniper should have been able to be saved a bit earlier, maybe with a Ravage or a Snowball from Quinn. But now, yeah, Monaspa, they're just putting themselves in a good position. They're hitting Roche now.
What? Okay, I mean, there's no Ravage. And Tofu is still dead with the Static Storm. And they know that he died back. But they're still going to go in for this one. Nande, can you somehow get this Roche on? Roche is on 600 HP. Who's going to get it? It's going to be Wish. Wish somehow snaps it. Unfortunately, Nande might die for this. And Diracho is here. Diracho's completely uncontested. Wish not going to die just yet. So he still has the Aegis, 100 HP. Will he escape away from Ace? Yes, he will. Desire TP's out in the trees. So it was expensive, but they do manage to keep this Aegis away from the GG lineup, even though it does cost them 2 core heroes.
I want to join the Monaspa bootcamp where they practice on how to like steal Roche when you're down 10,000 gold 8 games in a row. I don't know how they do it. Sadly for them, they still lost 2 of their cores, but the fact that they even get an Aegis in their own hands instead of, you know, letting the Rachi have it on the Sniper is quite impressive on its own.
Yeah. And the fact that it's on Wish, right? So Wish now feels a bit more comfortable committing forward. Doesn't have to worry that much about commit and I immediately die. Still though, the map is shrinking. Slowly but surely, GG are still able to constrict around them. Only 1 outer tower remaining before they're left with absolutely nothing.
They're also holding both gems now, which is a very big deal. Like when you're behind in the game, you want to try to split the map a little bit, you know, take away some of the enemy's aggressive vision. Now that you lost your gem, it's just going to keep getting easier and easier for Gaming to really hold this map and make it even worse for Monaspa.
Look at what Diracho just picked up. Makes it even harder to kill him. Blink Dagger flying in for the Sniper right now. So BKB Blink Hurricane Pike. Good luck getting on top of him. It feels like it's going to require the full Chain Disable for him to ever die in this game again.
Oh, absolutely. He has Blink, he has Pike, he has Titan Slither. The only way you can really kill him, you need to find him first. If you just chill, he never really has to show himself, right? So something needs to kind of happen. Or again, you need to smoke around, try to go from the backline where Sniper is naturally going to play and try to jump in with like a Fisher Totem into combo, something like that.
One of the last places that we saw Sniper die was down bottom, where they went for some very interesting smoke. Spartan will break the smoke from GG, just give Nande an opportunity to TP out. Sadly, no option available for him, but you know, he'll take it. Buying space and time for his OG.
Yeah, pretty good timing on the Glimmer, poking his head up, being like, oh, yep, found him. At least, you know, make sure his cores don't die. Nande gets to TP top, farm a bit. I guess he is gonna finish up this Octarine. I mean, what's his item build gonna be? Octarine, he has a Refresher queued up, and then BKB, so like you really greed it out. Try to get this Refresher, multiple Astrals, Hammers, and then your BKB? I don't know. They need something big. Yeah. So I don't mind him going for a greedy style of items.
The Octarine core is just complete. Yeah, it really feels like BKB would be an amazing pickup for him. But now GG, because they know that the Aegis was already taken, no obvious easy play to go into the pit. So with most of these outer towers taken, just going to keep bombing it up. They are underneath a Hawk right now, but Tofu should have a jet
Ace.
They do find Ace, but the team is coming in to save him. I don't think they have what it takes to actually kill him before reinforcements arrive. And indeed, they do not. Ace is still fine. They're actually going to make the full jump. Okay, they end up killing Ace.
Uh-oh, Nande
Lost the
blinked in
life
though.
of Desire, and now Nande, he went in too far. He ends up dying too. Wish he popped the BKB, but he reaches for Tofu and doesn't find Dyraicho, so he's definitely in trouble. However, here comes Skylark. Skylark wants to find the primal
Wants to
roll,
roar if
but
he
the
can.
headshot can't allow him to get close. He just keeps getting knocked back slowly but surely, and that is going to set up Wish for death as well. No more BKB being available. Headshot being the peskiest thing in the whole world. And Dyraicho actually taunts him by blinking in front of him, saying, I know you can't even do anything about this. And that's 4 heroes dead. And Ace was like, okay, if that's what it takes to kill me, I invite you to do that every single time.
Uh-oh, Spartan. Yeah, drop him the high five, bro.
Is he dead? Yeah, he's dead.
Yeah, he's gonna die. And he's dead. Oh, that is that
That's my
makes
team
that
wipe.
a full team wipe. Quinn getting some more stacks on his Desolator. But yeah, you could see the blink from the Ratio coming into play, just blinking backwards and basically not allowing Skylark to run up and roar him. 9,600 damage.
Damn. That fight was all sniper. If that roar hits, things look very, very different. But Dyraicho's positioning in this game has been impeccable.
It's at least I would say in the last 10 minutes it's been pretty good. Before that, you know, a few hiccups, but for Monaspa they need a cleaner fight. You're down a lot of gold, so of course it's not easy. So you need to really play these team fights more cleanly if you want to win them.
We spoke about the execution level required of a drop like this. It is fairly high. And so far, Monaspa, they've shown flashes of what's possible, but they haven't shown us the full brilliance,
Okay.
except for now when
There
they
it
make the
is.
full jump. Skylark gets the primal roar, they get the kill, but unfortunately Nande gets caught inside the static storm with no BKB to speak of.
Couple
He
buybacks.
ends up getting brought down. Buyback onto Dyraicho. There's no buyback onto this OD,
Ooh,
short
good
by
Glimmer.
640 gold. The Glimmer Cape is going to be able to keep this Tiny alive. But will they come back to finish off this Rax? It looks like it. They also just bought a BKB for this Celery Undying, so he can go forward and body even more for the side of GG if needed.
Yeah, honestly, this Undying is gonna slap. You can even buy a shard. That's still going on Quinn. Just gonna snowball for now.
They wasted the Morty's Kisses. So no Morty's Kisses. They still do have Echo Slam, but you ideally want to commit that when you also have the OD to help follow up.
That is at least one free Rax. Guess they're gonna go for the next. They need more spells, I think, to kill the Ratio from full to zero. Sure, you do have the Echo Slam, but Wish doesn't have BKB, can't really commit, and now they also still dead for 15 more.
What do you think, Kenzo? After the way these last few fights have shaken out, with Nande dying inside Static Storm, inside Ravage, does he just need to just get BKB at all
I
costs
think
right
so.
now?
Yeah, I feel like he needs to be able to go in, drop his spells, but then either run away or stand his ground. Because now he goes in, he drops his stuff, sure, they always kill Sniper, but they're always losing 2 heroes or 3 heroes.
Yeah. Always such an expensive situation for him. To make matters worse,
They're going
while he's
around
been
again.
dead, yeah, they're going for him, and yep, no BKB. And he's dead once again, 70 seconds in the grave. They're going for this wraparound. Skylark already behind them, has access to the Primal Roar. Desire, you need to hit the biggest echo of your life, my friend. Quinn jumping onto this Beastmaster, and Beastmaster will die back into the situation. 80 seconds dead with no buyback for Skylark. And that might just be it. An exciting series ends with a bit of a whimper here as GG. The sniper is just too good. They just had no real way to get up to him. And that's kind of surprising given that this was in the first phase picked up by the side of Game and Gladiators.
Yeah, I mean, you can see that it is, yeah, it's just not easy for them at all. There's huge sniper problems, even with some cool plays for now. You know, it's 2 racks, 25k lead, so I guess Gaming are gonna go, you know, slowly walk over to the third lane, try to get it done. And I mean, if you're Monaspa, you're gonna have to keep trying to do the same thing. So you have to go around, you have to try and find this Dyraicho sniper and, I mean, just blow him out of the game.
Oh no, they found Spartan. Alright, bye-bye.
Near one shot, close, close.
You know you were talking about the one fight middle, where you're saying Celery sort of became the carry in that fight? Click on his items. He's actually just a carry now. Blink, BKB, Solar Crest, 4-star,
Yeah, he's chilling.
level 21? What?
He's queuing up the shard. Look at his net worth.
Oh my God.
He has higher net worth than the Radiant's offlaner. Once he gets shard, and he honestly, if he blinks in and starts clapping anyone who doesn't have a BKB, which is anyone but Tiny, he's gonna kill them.
They just die, heads up. Quinn just got himself now an overwhelming blink. They're just waiting for Roshan to respawn. He's showing himself in the next 30 seconds. And they've almost got a swift blink as well for Dyraicho. In hindsight, Should Nande just have gone from much earlier BKB, and then should they have maybe prioritize even Skylark getting an earlier BKB as well?
The OD one maybe over the Octarine. I think Skylark not having BKB comes down to him just not having a good game. I think it has less to do with how much space they're giving him, but then it just has a lot to do with the mid game. It is just not easy for them to like really execute. Like you can see they have to do so many things right. They need to smoke around, find the sniper first, drop all his spells. After doing that, they also need to get out. So it's like, it's hard.
Game is hard as the older Dodge goes. And the game's about to get harder because Game and Gladiators, they are inside the Roshan pit. They've made a habit on Monaspa of stealing these Aegises, so I'd be paranoid if I was Game and Gladiators.
Yeah, go kill them. Stop hitting it and go kill them, please.
There comes Modi's Kisses. Celery, he blinks up onto Spartan right now, zoning him away. He drops a Tombstone as well.
Good
There's
Ravage.
a beautiful Ravage onto two core heroes that just brought down Spartan. Nande is about to get bounced up into the air. Huge wallop coming in from Quinn. They take out Skylark as well. We're trying to get out
Let him cook.
with this Tiny, but the Tiny has no way out. Unfortunately for him, there's just way too many disruptions, even through BKB. Nande about to get glimpsed back into a Static Storm. He is down for the count as well. And with 4 heroes in the grave, there's nothing to stop them taking the Sages. And also, doesn't seem like there's anything left to stop them just taking the game. The Game and Gladiators just looking way too strong right now. Indomitable strength for game number 3.
You can see 4 of his teammates are hitting the tier 2. He's hitting the throne. He gets the memo. He's like, guys, can we end this game? We're up 32k gold. I'm chilling, hitting some towers. Let's go.
Also, I wonder if they have a little bit of superstition. They're like, let's not even try to take the Roche. Somehow they'll all respawn and be inside the pit and take the Aegis. So let's just end the game, yo.
I do like that they stopped going for Roche's Quinn. It's just one.
Wow. One
Yeah, you
shot.
better call GG after getting clapped in your fountain.
Woo. GG, well played. The side of Game and Gladiators live up to the GG name. And they find a victory. Game number 1 went in their favor after a very long, drawn-out affair. Game number 2, obviously, was well in advantage of Monaspa because they played this incredible tempo. Game 3, not even close.
Yeah, it's even like starting from, I feel like the lanes, they all went pretty well.